show that under root 363 over root 3 simplifies to an integer. So we have to simplify this third and make it an integer value. So we start with the denominator and rationalize it by timesing the numerator and denominator with its denominator. So now we have under root 363 times root 3 over root 3 times root 3. So root 3 times root 3 is root 3 square. The square and the root goes off to get 3. So the denominator is 3 now. Now for the numerator, under root 363, I can write it as 3 times, 3 goes in 363, 3 ones is 3, 3 twos is 6, 3 ones is 3. So I can write it as 3 times 121. So this is 3 times 121 times root 3 over 3. Now 121, under root 121 is equal to 11, because 11 times 11 gives you 121, which is a square number. Now at this point I would like to remind you that it's better you remember all the square numbers between 2 and 20. So it's a good practice that you remember all the square numbers and even cube numbers, so that such calculation becomes easier for you. Okay, so now continuing with this, we got under root 121 is equal to 11. So I can take out 11 from this part, and I have root 3 remaining, and there is another root 3 over 3. So now we have 11 times root 3 is root 3 square, which is 3 over 3. 3 cancels out, and the final answer, which is an integer, is 11. Rationalize the denominator and simplify 20 over root 5. So to rationalize the denominator, we times the numerator and denominator with root 5. So this is 20 root 5 over root 5 times root 5 is root 5 square, which is just 5. Now this can be simplified. 5 goes in 24 times. So the answer is 4 root 5. Here is a sketch of the graph y is tan x, where x is ranging between 0 degrees to 360 degrees. You are given that tan 78.69 degrees is 5. Work out the other value of x when tan x is 5. And the range is the same range between 0 and 360. So you're given a tan x graph, and where we see the x values ranges between 0 and 360, and y values here are between negative 10 and 10. So it wants you to find it said that it's given that tan 78.69 is 5. So tan 5 is here. So if I use another color, so this value, so tan x is 5. So at 5 on the y-axis, its corresponding x value is 78. So this value is here, 78.69 degrees. You have to figure out what is that instance when tan x is 5 another time on the same on this graph. So work out the other value of x when tan x is 5. So we see we are getting, since it's a periodic graph, like this pattern keeps repeating, so we are getting tan x equals 5 again here at this point. So we have to find its corresponding x value. So what is this x value which will give you tan x is 5 other than 78.69 degrees in this range? So we know the periodicity of tan is 180 degrees. So I can use this. I just have to add 180 degrees to 78.69 to get this value on the x-axis. So 78.69, you add 180 to it to get 14, 15, 258.69 degrees. So the x value where tan x is again 5 is 258.69 degrees. Work out the two values of x where tan x is minus 5 in the same range between 0 and 360. Now we have to figure out what are those two x values where tan x is becoming negative 5. So tan x is positive 5 at 78.69 and this value, right? So now if I take this as a reference angle and see how far is it from 0 degrees. So it's 78.69 degrees from 0. So the next time where the graph is turning, taking a turn is at 180. So how far is negative 5? So from 5 to negative 5 is here. I'll use another color. So tan x is negative 5 here. So you have to find its corresponding x value at this point. And you have to actually find the two instances. So it's getting negative 5 again at this point. So you have to find this value of x as well. So finding the first value, I will use 78.69 as the reference angle. So why? Because it is positive 5. Tan x is positive 5 here. Tan x is becoming negative 5 at this instance. So it's like 78.69 degrees. So it's 0 plus 78.69 degrees here. So it will be 180 minus 78.69 degrees will give you the value of x where tan x is negative 5. So here I will have to take away 78.69 from 180. So if you take away 78.69 from 180, you get to this point. Okay. So 180 minus 78.69. So this is 799. This is 10. 10 take away 9 is 1. 9 take away 6 is 3. 9 take away 8 is 1. 0, 1. So one of the values of x is 101.31 degrees. You have to find the other value. Now other value, since it's a periodic graph which has a 180 degrees period, I have to add 180 to this value to get the other value of x. So 180 plus 101.31 will give you 31, it's 182, 281, right? So 281.31 degrees is the other value of x. So those two values are 101.31 degrees and 281.31 degrees. Match each expression to the left to the correct expression on the right. One has been done for you. So we are given an example here where we are matching. So 7 raised to negative n, it's like 7 power some negative value. So if it's 7 power minus 1, it's like 1 over 7, right? So that's what it's been matched to. So we have to figure out all these values. How can we write an equivalent expression for these indices? 7 power 2n. So we see that it's like power 2 squared. So which of these it has got squared here? So this one is mapped to this. Now we have another one, 7 raised to n plus 1. So which of them has like 7 power n plus 1? Well, we don't see any of them having specifically 7 raised to n plus 1. But something very near to it is like this is 7 power 1. And if x is also 7, 7 power 1. So I can match this to this maybe. And 7 raised to half n. If there is a fraction in the power, it's square, it's the root, it will be a root problem. So if you see a 2 in the denominator, it's actually square root of 7. Square root of 7. So square root, we are dealing in this expression, so it's this is matched to this. All right. In each part, the graph shown is a transformation of the graph y is x square. So y is x square is the original graph. Based on that graph, you have to see how are these graphs being transformed. Write down the equation of the graph shown below. So for this graph, if I take the original graph and see this graph, how has it been changed? We see it has been lifted 2 units above on the y-axis. So the equation from y is x square, from y is x square, if this is taken as the original equation, if you have lifted the graph or shifted it 2 units above on the y-axis, it will undergo a change of 2 units up for y value. So the new equation or the transformed graph's equation will be y is x square plus 2. Write down the equation of the graph below. So from the original graph, which is y is x square, which looks like this. Okay, let me draw it a little better. So which looks like this, which so now this is the transformed graph. It has like reflected across the x-axis. So reflection across the x-axis makes the equation of the graph go from y is x square to y is minus x square. Write down the equation of the graph shown below. Now here we see from the original equation or from the original graph, which is having a turning point at this point 0, it has been shifted here to the turning point being at 3 now. 30. Okay, so from it has shifted all the way, translated all the way from here to here. So how is the equation being changed? So from y is x square, there is a change in the x-axis, the x values. So for having a change on the x values, you need to do something inside to this x value here. So y is x, it has shifted 3 units towards the right, so it will be x minus 3 squared. So this is your transformed graph. Y is x minus 3 square.